So here's a quick 30-second recap of the roadrunner build. I found this car in 2019. It just got brought home from Denmark on a shipping container and was found at a speed shop in Los Angeles, sitting in a parking lot, just rotting away. I then ended up bringing it home on a trailer and started to tear the car down. And the first thing actually I did was buy a new engine from it, from a TSS speed shop, Torben in Sweden. And I built the whole driveline with a 4-speed and pistol grip and all that. And then I started restore the frame and do swap kits and stuff. New wiring harness. I painted the entire engine bay and kind of started to restore the vehicle a little bit. And after that, I put everything together to build the ready muscle car. And here we are today, trying to fire it up for the first time after the car has been sitting for probably over 15 years, if not more.
Hell yeah, the blower motor works. Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Roadrunner, and in today's video, let me tell you, we got a lot of progress done off stage, if you will, behind the scenes, and there's not a lot of things missing in this car, as you look at the whole front end missing. But actually, the biggest part that's missing right now is finishing up the fuel system down by the tank. I put in a Holly red pump and put it in a nice isolated rubber bracket and ran some fuel lines and stuff like that, but still not completely done. Also gonna get some proper filters on there. Then of course the front end is missing, as you can see. Front valence panel, headlight buckets and bezels and stuff, grille, bumper, and lower valence. Got heater hoses installed, the heater valve, electrical valve for the vintage air system, the correct nibbles down to the water pump and stuff like that. We got belts on it. We got an upper radiator hose. Still need a radiator, by the way. All lights works on this car as well, except the position lights or marker lights, the red ones down in the fender on the side. They don't work, I don't know why. Even this little doodad thing works, that's pretty cool. The horn even works. Meep, meep. What I'm gonna start off by doing today is prepping the engine for the first fire off, which is gonna happen in this video, I'm pretty sure, because in a few days I'm gonna receive the last parts for this thing, which is ignition coil, ignition cap, plug wires, temperature sending unit, oil sending unit. I have a ground harness for the gauges on the way from eBay. I've got some pretty cool wheels for this thing. Tires is gonna be some cheap tires that I have laying around, which are these Beard Goodrich right here. 255/70s, I think. Yes, we want all the sidewall. But the wheels, I'm gonna wait till you guys see that, because that's pretty cool. And that's pretty much it. When all those parts are home, plus the radiator. By the way, the radiator is lost somewhere in Norway. I don't know what happened. FedEx sent the radiator to Norway. I've been waiting for almost 2 months now. It's great. But right now, I'm gonna see if this thing cranks. I haven't tried to crank it, like ever. So we'll see what's gonna happen. I think I'm gonna remove the carburetor and see if it sucks down this duct tape I have on the intake. Just because I wouldn't really want to start up an engine with duct tape in the intake. So let's have a go, shall we? Spark plugs still look good, no rust in there or something. Engine has been sitting for over a year down here in this old barn, so you never know. Well, let's go. I'm gonna put a booster pack on here. There we go. And well, let it rip. Got the keys in, turning it. Also, it's a brand new engine, you know, like brand new rings, brand new home. That's gonna be a little bit resistant there, I guess, but still. So, okay, we know it cranks now. Not as fast as I want it to be, because I mean, there's no plugs in it, so it should just like run away. And this is like a mini starter with like 2.5 horsepower or whatever is what it's rated at when you look it up. So,
well, we got oil pressure, as you clearly can see in the cardboard down here.
Right now I'm doing some oil pressure stuff over here. I'm using a small block LA mopar style pump, oil pump, drive pump, whatever shaft. That's the easiest way, if you ask me, to prime a mopar, both small block or big block. What I am then doing is I'm priming it until the drill bogs down, then I'm turning the engine a quarter of a turn, run the drill for like 10 seconds again, turn the engine, run that for 10 seconds again, turn the engine,
turn that again. I think this is like 2,000, 2,500 RPM, so it builds pressure pretty damn quick. Might have a little accident over here where it sprayed all over the inner fender, but I have that cleaned up again. Rather have oil pressure than no oil pressure, I guess. So what I'm gonna go over now is adjust all the rockers, because right now they are completely loose, which is on purpose, because then the engine was easier to turn, and we can verify we get oil pressure, and the lifters pump up, you know, as soon as they are hot as rock. You know, there's oil pressure in the lift. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around and adjust all these. And the way I'm doing it is, usually how I do it is I run the set screw down until I can feel on the push rod that the set screw is touching the push rod. And after that, you verify, or not verify, you set your lash, you zero lash or whatever, and then a half a turn. That's how I do it anyhow. If we have any like ticking or like lifter noise, whatever, we can always give it a little bit more. But usually, I mean, all the engines that I've done, I've done it like this. I never had a moment of like one of the lifters clacking or something. I have to go back and tighten them. So for me, it works. Set it to zero lash, just so you can feel on the push rod that the set screw is touching the push rod. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but when you got that set, then you go for half a turn, and then you tighten the set screw and the counter knot, or and then you're good. Well, I absolutely mistreated the old DeWalt drill here, and smoke started to come a little bit out of it. That's always how it goes when you prime oil on these old engines. I don't know if you ever tried it before, but the 4 engines that I have done it, in like 20 to 30 seconds time, your drill starts to smoke. Yeah, it takes pretty crazy amount of horsepower to actually drive an oil pump. You don't really think about it, but the fact that your drill can't even keep up the pace tells a little bit about how much power goes into actually like pressurize oil into your whole engine, which I guess is the reason why you can actually gain horsepower by putting in like thinner oil and stuff like that. So I got all the valves adjusted, and then the only thing needing on the car itself, besides the engine bay, is connecting the collectors to the exhaust. And then I guess also when I get my last parts, I have 2 fuel filters. I'm gonna put in 2 fuel filters down here. I mounted the Holy Red pump, which is what I'm gonna run right now. I mounted that down here on a rubber isolated mount, almost at the bottom of the tank. I would have liked to get it lower, but this is what we got to work with. And yeah, I just gotta put in 2 fuel filters, one before the pump and one after the pump up here. And then I can take this hose and run it up on the frame. And then pretty much everything is ready. I also wired in the pump in the dash or whatever. So that's just like a little hidden switch where the radio used to be. So one of the radio holes, I put a switch there. So that's a nice clean install. You don't really notice it. We are missing an entire front end, but that should be pretty easy. It looks like a lot of work right now. Like holy shit, you have to put the whole front end on. But as soon as the radio is on, and the engine has been fired up and stuff, I'm just gonna put it on. The reason why I'm not putting on right now is the front end goes out to like here. So right now I can go all the way in here and work. So that's almost like a meter of room or whatever. I actually received the radiator yesterday. I got the radiator, I got the shroud and mounting stuff, and then I got the 2 fans. So today's a good day. I finally got the last part. Oil pressure sensor, temp sensor, bell house bolts, header bolts over there, fuel filters. Mopar performance distributor cap, because that's the cheapest one you can get and the best one. Everything is like copper and nice inside of that unit, okay? Cold case radiator, wiring, fan control, whatever kit. And we got the XL Extreme 9000 ceramic, whatever units. I don't know. There's porcelain on them, okay? Millimeters, 500 ohms per feet or per foot or whatever. So yeah, that's great. And the old super stock unit works great with ballast resistors, and I think this is a 50,000 volt unit, so plenty good. So what I've done right now is put the engine in top dead center, 0 degrees, aligned oil pump shaft, rod, whatever thing you do on a Mopar, and mark where cylinder 1 is, and then we're gonna start to lay out the wiring. Also, I played around with where to mount the coil. I'm thinking about here, maybe in the other bolt out here, or we could also mount it down in the head here. Or we got these 3 bolts down here in the valley where you could also mount them, which is seen on a lot of factory cars too. But I think I want it nice and like high up here where it doesn't get heat soaked or whatever as much as I can, instead of mounting it straight to an iron head that's not insulated like the aluminum. So, and then after that I'm gonna put in the bell house bolts, because I didn't have any bell house bolts, so I thought why not ARP, and they were actually really cheap. They got a nice washer to them, and they also had the correct lengths, because on a big block Mopar you also have these two long ones that go through the block and into the transmission. That's a new one for me. Yeah. So this one side is installed. It took a little while because this bolt right here, because the pipe is so tight against the flange, I couldn't get the bolt in there. So I had to cut off, I think 2.5, 3 threads or whatever, and then I could just sneak it in there, pull the header out and all that, and you know, it works, it's in there. Time to do the other side over here. Yes, I still have some wiring. I have to figure out like this random ground wire so I can crank the engine, but you know, temporary, permanent. You know, let's throw the bolts in here and tighten the headers up, and then also, then everything is aligned underneath the car, header wise, collector wise, so we can start to build a new exhaust, because the old exhaust didn't fit at all. This car, by the way, before was a 340 small block, if that's why you're wondering why it doesn't line up, because if it was a big block before, I would assume it would line up, but it does not. So yeah, I'm gonna throw the plugs in, the wires. I lined up the whole ignition stuff like that. I mean, I guess we could honestly try to like test fire it if I wanted to, even though I have to figure out fueling. But we could just pour some fuel in the fuel bowls, you know what I mean? And then try it that way. So I don't know, we might gonna try to do that. Stay tuned. Hell yeah, as you guys just saw, this car is up and running. We got to start it up, and it sounds amazing. It's awesome. Got a few things I want to figure out. Right now I just started up with this small Summit Racing carburetor, whatever, as you can see. And the thing does not want to idle underneath, I would say 1500 RPM or something. But I mean, it is race engine, you know, race car stuff. But I'm just going to try to do different things. The mixture screws all the way out. The idle screw all the way in. And then I'm slowly going to try to like bring her down. I mean, as long as we can get down to like, I don't know, 1000 or 1100 RPM, then I'm happy. It's not like I want a low idle. In my world, I love a high idle, you know. I love the fact that like a NASCAR engine idles at like 2000 RPM and still sounds choppy. Like that's really cool to me. So I wouldn't mind a high RPM. Plus, then the engine is ready for action. You know what I mean? You don't gotta bring it up in the rhythms. So right now I got the cooler in. I got this really nice little adjustable thermal switch here. So I'm gonna play around with that too, because I gotta adjust that. So I'm gonna bring up the engine to temp, and then I'm gonna have to turn this on. So this turns on when the engine is at a certain temp. So you kinda like, I don't know, gotta time it or something. make it work somehow. So we're gonna start by having it all the way clockwise, and then you're gonna turn down the temp so you hit the temp. I think this is adjustable for like 210 Fahrenheit and down to 160 or something. Yeah, anyway. Also, we got hoses on, we got water in, we got the carburetor a little bit more like proper mounted or whatever, not mounted, plumbed or whatever with the fuel over here. Just gonna get this away from the header there. There you go. Don't want fuel and header action. That's a little too much action for me right now. Also, I rewired some stuff for the radiator because we had to use some power out here that I was using for the heater core inside. So I did some different wiring here yesterday, but yeah, we should be ready to just like turn it on right now. Something is lighting up in there. Oh, that's the emergency brake. Never mind. Also, the old exhaust did not fit the big block because the old exhaust were for a small block, so it was much like narrow or whatever. This whole system they had made over here with H-pipe and stuff. And you guys probably saw in some previous videos that I stripped the whole thing down and painted and stuff, but come to find out we can't really use it. And then I started to like cut it off and mesh out if I could use it in another way or like chop it up. And I ended up just buying new pipes and building my own stuff, just like auto store pipes. So I made a little X-pipe system, you know, just like on your old Firebird. If you want to see how to make a cool X-pipe system on a budget, I'm talking like $100. I'm gonna link a video to the Firebird where I did the whole system with X-pipe and then also like cool Trans Am side pipe style pipes. But so if you can see what's going down under here, we got a collector out under the cross member, X-pipe, and then out right here. So right now it's a straight pipe, X-pipe, whatever. There's no mufflers on it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do another 45-degree pipe and then continue to like the rear floorboards. And then I'm gonna probably take this whole pipe and cut it like right here or something. And then connect this muffler plus the exhaust hangers that's already on here. And just put these mufflers on for now. I would like to get like some proper Black Widow exhaust mufflers or straight through mufflers, like Pro Comp mufflers, something like that. Something that's not chamber mufflers. Because I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of the sounds. Plus you don't get the diesel pops, you just don't. On my Firebird, when I had straight through mufflers, every time I diesel, this thing was just popping and where as soon as I got the chamber mufflers on, that disappeared. So that was kind of boring, you know. We want this and this. We want that on this too, right? A little bit of flame action. So I'm gonna try to start it now, like from the inside. I also got the clutch bled the other day, and for some reason I cannot bleed the brakes. I don't know, debacle. I'm gonna have to figure out something, if it's my linkage stuff or the Wilwood master cylinder that I have to bench bleed first. I haven't bench bladed. I never have bench bladed any master cylinder in my whole life. Never been a problem, but maybe I have to do it with this. Also because the whole system is like dry and fresh, like all the lines are new and stuff. I don't know. I got fluid squirting out of all the bleeders, but the pedal just never gets hot, so I don't know what's going on there. Then it should be a broken seal in the new master cylinder, but I really don't hope so, so I don't know. So what I'm gonna do now is try to start the car up from the inside with the key, turn on the lights, see if it's the charging system works, get it up to temperature, and stuff like that, see if the light works and stuff, you know, just everything, like we are this close to test drive, you know. Try to idle, try 1109.
No idle today.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to smack a like down below and subscribe to the channel to see more content with the Roadrunner. Next video, hopefully we're going to try to dial in a little bit more with ignition, idle stuff, carburetor and stuff, get the brake split, because that's a big debacle apparently. I think maybe I've gotten a new Wilwood master cylinder that doesn't work, so that's great. But thank you for watching. See you guys in the next video.